Okay, so I have got 4 litters of Thrianta to go through. 2 litters that are older that I've already done an evaluation on. 2 litters that I pretty much have not touched. I have not evaluated them at all, so we'll see how they're looking. I've already culled down the 2 older litters. So I have 2 does and a buck from one litter, and then just 1 doe from the other litter. So we will take those out first and get a peek and kind of see how they're looking, if we're going to continue growing them out or not. So starting with this little doe right here. Their coats are all really wonky right now. They're transitioning out of their baby coats. She feels a little light. She feels light in bone. And I think you can see she's definitely pinched. Like, see how narrow she is down here? So that's not something you would want to keep. You wouldn't want to keep it in a buck, but you especially don't want to keep it in a doe, because that can mean issues with them kindling. She's also, you can't tell because you'd have to put your hands on her, but she's very hippie. Like, I can feel like her hip bones, and it's not just like, oh, like I'm starving her or anything. She has 24 access to food. It's just how she's built. She's built with more prominent hip bones. And you can see, really long, very ugly, big dip in the shoulders. Yeah, she is for sure not going to be one to stay. Okay, so this is the second litter. Already, just putting my hands on her, she feels so much nicer. She's not hippie, as in like her actual hip bones back here, and I'm also not really catching on her legs there. Her head's okay. She doesn't have the nicest head, but it's not bad. I would just like her head to be a little shorter, a little more compact. But I do like the feel of her body, so let's see if we can get her hosed up. She's sniffing. Everybody else was. Okay. Okay. Girl, quit sniffing. Hose. She's so focused on like this one spot. There we go. Get your head up, please. Okay. Yeah, I like her. I like her a lot. She's shorter bodied than the other doe. Sorry, she's kind of in a weird spot. She's shorter bodied than the other doe by quite a lot. And these guys all have the same dad. And their moms are related. Everything in my rapture is related. I really like her though. She's short, she's compact. She's not too, I'm catching a little bit on her hip, but not that much. And honestly, most of the points on these guys are coat and color. From what I'm seeing, she's carrying the red pretty far down, but again, it's hard to tell. Her ears aren't too long. They're a little longer than I would like, but not the end of the world. Her tail color could be a little darker, but again, not the end of the world. Let's see, what does your belly look like? Belly's a little lighter than I would like. You can see kind of here, she's a little lighter. But she's decently wide. Yeah, she's pretty wide. So we will keep growing her out. Like I said, you guys are right around 13 weeks. Girl, let me write a K in your ear. Okay. Promising. Promising young doe. I like her. I'm excited. Okay, here's her sister. Her sister's bigger than her. Ooh, girl, you got a long tail. Her sister's faster maturing. Like, she's already got like a mature coat. She's carrying the red pretty far down. I still like the sister better than this girl. And do a check for white spots with these guys. I got DQ'd off the table the other day for a white spot. A doe that I showed multiple times and nobody ever caught it. I didn't catch it. And then one judge finally saw it. So that was nice to know that was there. I hate the head on this girl. Look how long her head is. She's okay. Let's see. So she's a little flatter, I think, than the other doe. Still catching on that hip just a little bit. Her coat length is nice. An inch is what you want on these guys. It's a little overposed. So that's nice. She's got that going for her. Let's see your belly. Yeah, again a little lighter than I would want on the belly. And she's pretty wide as well. I would like their actual legs to be a little straighter, but she's got a nice wide base, so that's nice. I don't know, I'm not in love with her. I like the other doe a lot better. There's just something about this girl that I just am meh about, especially in comparison to the first doe. The first doe so far carries the red deeper into her coat. Let's see if I can show you what I mean by that. See, I think the camera makes it look a little more, see how, like when she gets closer to the skin, we start getting lighter. It's not as dramatic as it looks in the camera because their skin is white. That just makes it look more pronounced, but still more so than I would really like. I'm gonna keep growing her out. Like I said, they're 13 weeks. I'll probably grow her out to 16 weeks, but I also don't like that she's a bigger doe, just because I am already, standard for these guys is 4 to 6 pounds. My does tend to be closer to like 5.5-ish. So this year I want to try to keep some smaller does and some smaller bucks to bring my size down a little bit. So we'll keep her for now, but I'm not gonna ride her. Up a little buck. Come here, mister. See, he's little. Again, I don't like his head. Don't like how long his head is. I don't like his eyes either. And just by that, I mean, Thriantas, due to their head shape, can have like issues with like runniness around their eyes. And I feel like, so his eyes aren't runny, but he's just giving me vibes that he could be one that I'd have to watch on the eyes. And I don't like the way he feels. He's very, like lanky. He's just lanky. You're not gonna want to pet him, are you? And I think he's pinched. Let's see. Now he doesn't have a finished coat, but let's see if I can get that example going. I think it probably looks the same. Maybe not. He just carries that red a little deeper into his coat than the previous doe did. Well, this boy, but than the doe did. Look at that. Ugh. That big dip right there. Yeah, look at that. That is awful. You do not want to keep that. And that's with like a neutral-ish head. Like, oh my lord, that's so bad. So if anybody ever tells you like, oh, your rabbits have like a really long shoulder or a really weak shoulder, this is a beautiful example of that. Yeah, this is not gonna be a keep for sure. He's gotta go, which sucks because I love his size. Let's see which belly color looks like. Helicopter going over. My guy. Cool. Yeah, belly color's not that great either. Okay. Never used to torture him. Go on, guy. Okay, so that's 2 culls. That leaves me with 2 does out of the 2 older litters. 1 doe that I like, 1 doe that I'm meh about. So let me grab, that's the youngest litter, so I'm gonna grab this litter. This litter is about 12 weeks old. That litter just turned 11 weeks old. The other 2 litters are right about 13 weeks. Okay. This litter's coats are really bad. I really need to separate these guys. Let's see. Okay, this is a boy. I actually do like how small he is. Because like I said, I'm trying to breed for some smaller animals. So he's got that going for him. He's got some lacing on his ears, which just means he's got some black tips on his ears. Yeah, he's still very much a baby coat. I feel like just because of his size, I'd be willing to grow him out. He peaks early, kind of slopes off a bit, but he's not hippie, so I'm not really catching on his hips at all. Let's see what our belly color looks like. Okay, belly color isn't bad. He's chill. He's very chill. I like that. I like that. Okay. Okay, my guy. I should have kept a keeper cage up here. Yeah. I'm gonna put him in his own cage somewhere. So, the things that I like about him. I like his head. He's got a bit of a shorter head from his nose to essentially his ears. He's a little bit more compact. Still longer than I would like, but better. I like that he's chill. I like that he'll sit here. He gets points for personality. I like his small size. He peaks too early. He's got a bit of a stronger shoulder, which is good. So he doesn't have that horrific dip that the previous guy I just showed. He's not so he's not as wide as I would like. That is the one negative thing. Not as wide as I would like, but he's not awful. His tail color is good. I think he's gonna have pretty good color. So, oh, I can put you over there. I have an empty cage over there. We're gonna put him, and if there's another boy, we'll put him in that cage too. I'm gonna go ahead and toss him in there because there's water in there. The coat on these awful. We're going through such a bad transitionary phase. Okay, again, just put my hands on him. Yep. Him. Okay, so he's longer than that other buck, and he is going to have that awful shoulder. I actually think he's got a more developed head, and I feel like he's pinched. I don't like his length of limb, like how long his legs are. He just feels like a weaker, long, drawn out animal. So if it was a girl, maybe we'd keep going, but boys really need to impress. Boys need to impress, and that ain't it. That horrific shoulder. He's got the same high point as the other buck, where they peak too early and then they slope off. That is what it is. Work on it. But we're not gonna keep this shoulder. Okay. This one's got a nicer coat at least. I don't have my soft brush, which is what I would like to go over when their coats are like this. Boy or girl? Our first girly pop. She already looks hinged. Okay. I like her size. She got a long head. Like, okay, no, look how ugly her head is. Look how long her head looks. Long head. Okay. Yeah, like she's a little bit more compact. Still, okay, maybe I'm lying. I want to pretend she's more compact. She's still kind of long. Yeah, she is long. I'm lying. Longer. Not too hippie. Why does it feel like it's so weird. So what I'm saying is weird is like I'm catching on her hip on this side, but I'm not catching on her hip on this side, and she doesn't look like she's leaning. Weird. Still. Okay, that's random. But she's gonna be a coal. Long shoulder. I don't like her head. I don't know what she's got going on with her leg. Like, she moves fine. She's chill. I love a chill animal. Belly color is meh. It's okay. It's nothing to write home about, nothing to cry about either. They're allowed to be lighter on the belly, but you do want it as dark as possible. So. Yeah. I'm just not impressed when I have other does that I actually like, so. Okay. On my nose. Ooh, not chill. Oh my gosh. Okay, just putting my hands on this one, it feels like extra long. It feels like a hot dog. Just feels tiny. And not in like a size tininess, as in like, oh, it's a small rabbit. It feels like a narrow rabbit. And this one's gonna have a horrific shoulder. Just like the other one. Which is so funny. Their dad does not have a long shoulder. Look at that ugliness. I'm not keeping that in. And honestly too, just the texture on all of these guys' coats, dislike. White underbelly. This one jumped in the water bowl, that's why its feet are a little wet. This one's not chill. Okay. So you can see it's tense, but see how close together its feet are and that they form a bit of a V? This is like pinched. Okay. It's gonna be a no. Have I liked any? Oh yeah, okay, I like that one. Y'all all need brushed. Okay, she feels, I'm saying she. This is giving me girl vibes. You're a boy. Okay, so he's wider through his shoulders, which is good. Like the other one was super narrow. So I do like that. You don't want these guys to be like long and flimsy. They should be sturdy rabbits. I don't like him either. His whole litter's a bust except for the first one, which is fine. That's usual. So he's just, it's the same problems, right? Super long shoulder, peaks too early. I hate all of their coats. He's got a lighter tail color than I would like. Will you let me flip you? Lighter belly color, especially around the crotch area. Very light. And most of the points for these guys are coat and fur. So they're at a weird age, but still, it's awful. Awful. Now I do like, I'll give this guy credit, I like how like he feels sturdy, you know. Much sturdier than the other one, but yeah. So, and this isn't 100% of an exact, wow, exact, but like, look, when I pick them up like this, see like how close together and like slightly bent, like V'd that his feet are? You don't want that. Pinch. So. That's a no. Oh, right in your ear. Yeah, don't jump up. Yeah. Here's your mom, Cola. Interesting. Look at that. Look when I pick this critter up. Look how just small and pinched these hind ends are. And this one too, like hip bones. Now she's shorter, sort of, than the other animal. And some of her sibs. Not enough to make it worth keeping. She's still got a bad shoulder. Still peaks too early. Her coat's still horrific. I'm saying she. This might be another boy. Let's look. This whole litter boys. Oh, another boy. Yeah, I know. He kind of huffed at me. I like the length. I like the length of coat on this guy. Color's bad. I've already got my main herd buck that I love. A little replacement buck. And then that buck over there that I just grabbed. So that's 3 boys, 3 Thrianta boys, 2 new juniors and a senior. Not to mention another litter to go through, 2 small litters on the ground, and all of the does bred back. So I'm not like, if my main herd buck was the only buck that I had, I'd be a bit pressed and like really looking to replace. But none of these guys are nicer than him by any stretch of the imagination. So he's not posed, but again, just look how long. These all have horrifically long shoulders. This litter just turned out bad. Well, I got one decent one out of the bunch. One decent one. Are you a boy too? You probably are, aren't you? Oh, the only girl! The only girl! She's ugly anyways. Pinched feet. Ugly head. Now, I don't like the head on pretty much any of my Thriantas. I don't really like the head on a lot of my adults. That's one thing that I want to work on improving. I've been a little lax on their heads, especially for the does. So that's one of the reasons why I want to shorten this head up a little bit. And that's something that I'm paying a lot of attention to. Bad color. You can see she fails to carry it deep. Look how white that is. Yeah, that's a really bad color actually. Wow, fell all the way around. Okay, let's move on to the next litter. Let's put y'all back. Okay, already the coat on these guys who are a week or so younger than that litter, crazy difference. I don't know what is going on with their coats. They're all horrific. Like they just have like a really rough texture to them. I don't know what they're doing to them. First bun. See, this is what they're supposed to feel like. It's so soft. You're so nice. Like it's still an immature baby coat, but it doesn't feel like. I do have. I don't know. I got a bucket in there for them, so I don't know if they're getting in the bucket and like doing something. But hold on. Boy. So he carries that undercolor much better throughout his coat. See, we're not having like blinding spots of white coming through, so that's nice. His length is okay for a baby. And a reminder, all of these guys have the same dad. Just goes to show. And their moms are all related. Sometimes stuff just happens. Rabbits get ugly. He's a bit shorter. Catching on his hips a little bit, but overall not too bad. He wants to hold his head where it should be. Nice neutral positioned head. I like that. He gets a bit lighter down here through the sides. Head is okay. Could be shorter. He's got a white spot. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to show you that. Calm. He has like, I don't think you'll be able to see it. Three white hairs is considered a white spot. And that, yeah, it's definitely more than 3. I mean, it's small. It's probably like 5 white hairs, but it's white hairs nonetheless. And he has a few other scattered whites throughout his ears. Must have got bit by a mosquito. So, that's not good. Well, I was gonna say, I kinda like him, but no, I don't. Let's see what his belly looks like. Yeah. He is light through, you can see, like, down there by his legs, he gets quite light, so that is not good. Very light throughout his legs and his belly, and that's something that would just get more. So with age, but even having said that, I think we're off to a better start than we were. No white spots on her ears. Again, I'm saying her. What are you? I should just start saying he by default. Y'all are like all boys. I like the texture of the coat. I like the length of the coat. I don't like the color. There's a lot of white in there. Well, not like actually white. It just doesn't color the red as deep as he should. Let's see. Now structurally I like him. He's a little bit longer in the shoulder than I would like, but shortest of the animals, right? He feels pretty wide. Peaks a bit early, but I do think his peak is a bit better than some of the other ones. I love that he's chill. I love a chill rabbit. I think he might be worth continuing to grow out. Head's okay. Head's still longer than I would like, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, we'll keep him. I love the shape of his ears. It's nice wide ear, but they're thick. He has very thick ear base. It's still a weaker shoulder than I would like, but I'm not that mad at him. I'm not that mad at him. Like I said, this is the youngest litter. Belly's a little lighter, but I'm going to delude myself into saying that could still change. He's a little closer together than I would like, and a little V'd, but he's not awful. At the very least, it's going to be worth, I have a show in a couple of weeks. We'll take him to a show. We'll get some comments. He's still a baby. And see what they say. We'll see what they say. We're gonna start a keeper cage. Okay. Girl. So she has a few scattered whites. Oh look, I don't think any of them technically count enough to be like a white spot. But, oh. Thought I saw one. I don't like her anyways. She's very long. That's the theme of today. Long rabbits. She's real long. Oh my lord, she's like a Flemish. Yeah. Super long, scattered whites. Ugly head. Nice ear. Nice fur texture. Fur texture, but I don't like the length of it. Wish her coat was a bit longer. Let's see with that belly. She's actually got like decent belly color, but not worth keeping. I like the length of coat on this one better. I like the ear better. Just nice, super thick ears. Let's see what you are. You are small. Oh, well, there's the testicle. Yeah, and there's Pinks. Boy. I like the size of him. I like the texture of his coat. I like his ears. I like the color of his tail. Belly color's okay. Not the best. Kind of still would want wider, straighter feet, but seen worse. Why don't you want to pose, my guy? That doesn't count. I feel like he's going to be long. Okay, I'm going to let him back off the table if he keeps doing this. Yep. That's a quick way to teach him not to back up. Just let him back off the edge of the table. He's gonna be long. He's not as long as some of the other ones just because he's a smaller animal, but still not that good. Heard a rabbit doing something. Okay. Also gonna be a cull, just again, length, ear, well, not ear, I like his ears. Just the length of his body. And there's just nothing about him that stands out, right? And a buck in particular, like you want to pull them out and be like, I love this animal. Like there should be something about them that makes you go, wow, look at it. And I just don't get that. I don't get that. I do not get that at all. Okay, so 2 does. 3 does? No, 2 does. 1 buck. 3 does. Did I say I was keeping it up in here? It is. Those 2 does. That buck. This buck. I didn't like anything else. And I had almost all boys. And I only kept 1 doe from the previous. Yeah. Wow. I better get some nice does coming out of these next couple of litters. Crazy. Okay. This is the buck that I have kept. He's still a junior, but he's an older junior. Take you out and brush you, my guy. So he's like 5 months. Look how nice and thick his ears are. Nice short ears. He has a thick head. It's still longer than I would like. He's broad-shouldered. He feels sturdy when you hold on to him. Let's see if we can get him posed up. He's short, thick-shouldered, not too long. There we go. His high point is at a better place than some of the other ones. He carries that red pretty deeply into his coat. So he's more like what I'm looking for in a keeper animal. He smells all the girls.